trade. Meta facing a significant antitrust trial as the Federal Trade Commission accuses the tech giant of monopolising the social media landscape. The FTC pushing for the undoing of Meta's acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp, claiming the dominance harms competition. Meta argues it competes vigorously with TikTok and YouTube as well, highlighting that when TikTok experienced an outage, many users turned to Instagram. We've got Oz Sultan joining us to discuss this. No one's mentioning poor old Threads here. It doesn't seem to be a competitor to anyone anymore. Threads can stay with the company, according to the FTC. This comes at an interesting time, Oz, because there's an article in the Wall Street Journal that white-collar crime is going to be something that the Trump administration essentially will be turning a blind eye to. What am I referring to here? Crimes that don't have any victims. Is there a victim of Meta owning Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp here? Isn't that just good business? Where does the FTC get involved? And it feels like the FTC under the Trump administration it feels like this is something Biden would do.
Well, I think you have to look back to the 1980s almost for this one. The last time we had any kind of a shakeup was when Ma Bell was broken up, and that created AT&T and a variety of other companies. The challenge that you have right now is that it is almost an oligarchy, where you have one. It's like Standard Oil in the 1930s that had to be broken up. You have one company that controls more than 80% of the market share of the total use of social media inside of the United States. While TikTok does have a relatively healthy share, again, it's not more than 25% of the market space. And if you look at all of the smaller upstarts, now, granted, Truth Social is affiliated with President Trump, but you've got dozens of these smaller platforms with millions, not hundreds of millions of users that really get shoved, to the back of whatever conversation you're having inside of social. And with the ramp up now that we see from Metaverse 2.0 and some of these other technologies, you just have way too much power concentrated inside of the Meta ecosystem of not just Facebook and Threads, WhatsApp and Instagram, but secondarily Oculus and several of the other tools that they've purchased over the course of years that really encompass how people engaged with social online. There isn't a Microsoft competitor anymore. There's barely a Google competitor anymore. Most of the Google products were shut down. So I think this is the first step in a Ma Bell type breakup, which could create more competition in the market, which is what we want. And then secondarily, there's the big question of data privacy inside of this, right? We don't want to become China. We don't want social credit scores. And by limiting the amount of information that just one single company could have, you prevent those types of things from matriculating. Is that an end-all be-all? I'm not sure. But it is at least a step in the right direction to increase competition inside of the marketplace and allow us to see more interesting things than just Facebook inside of the 2020s.
There are, though, as we say, YouTube and TikTok, and the reality is, I understand the point of trying to break up a company so that it isn't one huge conglomerate, but you or I won't be bidding for Instagram. It will just be another corporation that the government will be trying to reel in 5 years' time.
Well, it could be another consortium, and that's really what we kind of see these days. It seems to be Vanguard and BlackRock stepping into any sort of conversation in these things. But the fact that you could actually have multiple owners for these companies and that you could be bypassing what they have been trying to do with industry associations and lobbying associations that really are just veneers for, more corporate control on their part, at least opens the doors so that we can have this competition. Now, what emerges from that's a whole different argument altogether. I think that's a mixture of Silicon Valley, New York City, Texas, and Kansas City, where you've got your burgeoning tech sectors these days. And you also have the big question about AI inside of social media. There was a group of young black kids from Yale that were just funded to create an AI-based social media platform. So, these new upstarts need to have a competitive landscape, and that competitive landscape is going to require some deregulation.
Oz Sultan, appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thank you.